we're back. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in and welcome to another episode of Comfort and Chaos short videos. This video is going to be a short one. As you know, I try to not go crazy into the world, but hey, welcome. If you're new to the channel, please, thank you for joining. There's power in presence, so appreciate you being present. And please, by all means, if you're not part of the team, hit that subscribe button, smash it nice and hard. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything, but the support definitely goes long ways. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go forward with this. So, form of chaos team. A lot of chaos is going on in this world today right now. Gosh, I mean, I can't even imagine. There's so much going on. We've spoken before in the last podcast episode about like the assassination attempt. I mean, the craziness in the education system, freaking Haktua, just a lot of craziness in this world, that we, at least I, know it as chaos. And, of course, another form of chaos. As you can see, I'm currently going through a little comforting chaos right now. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but basically, surgery is complete. Went through an immediate surgery, short description, but yeah, had an extensile tendon repair in my hand. Ended up cutting my hand, and it cut it pretty deep. A little fatal accident, but got through it. Thank goodness for our healthcare and medical system. The medical technology is just crazy and has advanced so much. I mean, just the little thing of like repairing a tendon can be pretty insane and man, very detailed, but yet it was like in and out. It was like going to McDonald's, go in, get out, boom, here's some drugs and go heal and recover. And I'm like, dude, it's crazy. Something like this, maybe even 50 years ago, 40 years ago, would have been like a serious injury and a serious, serious recovery. They probably would have amputated a hand, go back in time before that. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about how far we've come and how far we're going to go. It just kind of excites me, But you already know, got my little beverage here, so I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, catching up, man. I mean, that's a little brief intro. Catching up, guys. So let's talk about real quick what is going on in this world right now, in the world of politics. Man, as you know, President Biden, our commander-in-chief, my commander-in-chief, me being in the military, basically withdrawal from the race, Now, it hasn't been said if he withdrew from his presidency currently, his term now, although it is kind of weird how there's like awkward silence, It seems like subjects are constantly being changed and something's going on, I don't know. It just seems weird, And that being said, we got obviously, Kamala Harris, and I mean, hey, I'll be real with you. All right. Hey, I'm going from the person to person, but for me, I don't speak on behalf of the organization I'm part of or anything like that. This is all me. You come to this channel, it is all me, no one else, not the opinion of anything else, not the opinion of the army, say the less. But it's just me as a human being, me as an American, and all of us, we should all be in that way. That should be a simple form of chaos that we can face and get through every day. Just know that you're an American. Don't let what your political belief or anything else base your opinion or your rationale or your decision towards somebody else. I would encourage you not to do that. As we learned just recently at the President Trump rally, that's what happens when you do that. You're just mentally lack that mental resilience to get through and deal with real shit, real issues. And to me is like, dude, that dude who did that, he just had nobody to talk to or something. He didn't have a mentor. He was looking to the media. He was looking to the wrong sources to mentor and guide him through his challenging moments, both mentally and physically. And look what it led to. You know, it led to an emotional decision that didn't work out in his favor. You know, and luckily it could have been a lot worse. You know, but going forward, team, there's something I realized, and I just want to come out here and share. You know, I always say value your circles. You know, value your circle, because in the end, that's all you're going to have. You know, I know election year, people get all riled up, get all up in their social media. They start posting things. Excuse me. They start posting things. They start posting things and getting into like arguments on social media. They start getting into, you know, arguments with their family, getting arguments with their friends. And then next thing you know, these relationships are just severed, you know, over something that doesn't really matter in your life, you know, in that sense. Obviously it does matter, you know, in the long term or the long scheme of things, but in reality, your family, your circle, like that's what you should value and put all your energy towards, because in the end, regardless of who's in office, you know, regardless, all these politicians, because they don't know who you are, nor do they care about you. I'm just going to be real. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't. Right now, the trend that I've seen, and this is from a leadership perspective. All right. Me as a leader, as a senior leader myself, you know, there's a baseline standard platform that us leaders should be held accountable for, at least for us in the military. You know, there's a baseline, you know, so what you do over here has to be accountable to what you do over here, because that is the standard. And one thing I've noticed, and I've mentioned this before in previous episodes, but there is a selective standard right now. And when you have a selective standard, you are there opening the door for chaos. You're opening that door for just miscommunication. You're opening that door for misunderstandings. You're opening that door for manipulation, you know. And when you do that, because there's no standardized basis to hold everybody accountable, regardless who they are, what political party they're part of, or anything, there is that baseline standard. But when you manipulate that, and when the standard is selective, you know, well, guess what? That is the new standard. You just allowed that to be the new standard. So it's something to think about, team. And now going forward, the whole Kamala Harris thing, you know, I mean, she is she's within the chain of command, you know, so I'm not going to go too crazy. Although I will play some media stuff, you know. I do want to play this one video that I'll let you guys see that I thought was pretty hilarious, you know, from Joe Rogan himself. And let's see, I'll go ahead and power this up for you guys. Let's see. Okay, let's see. It's going to be hilarious. There we go. Okay. I'll move this right here, team. Okay, check this out, guys.
Way. That lady's a heartbeat away from the president.
We have seen what can be unburdened by what has been.
There's no way. There's no way someone is not telling her to stop saying that same thing over and over again.
To see what can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been? Like, she just says it over and over and over again.
To see what can be unburdened by what has been.
This isn't real. This is writing. Someone wrote this. It seems like a script.
The ability to see what can be unburdened by what has been.
There's no way that lady's a heartbeat away from the president.
Yeah, so as you know, there you go. You have it. A little short clip. It's crazy to think about, guys, you know. It's crazy to think about like what's just going on in this world, you know. And it blows my mind. But reality is, you know, there's a lot of things you got to factor. In this realm, and some of the conversations I've had is like, hey, okay, so you have a president who was supposedly the most popular president with over like 81 million votes, you know, my commander-in-chief, and all of a sudden just is like a no-show and then drops out of a race. Like, it doesn't make sense. There's just a lot that doesn't make sense. But the one thing that does tell me is there's a lot out there. It just seems like, man, sometimes you feel like your vote doesn't matter. You know, you can walk around those feelings. It's coming election time. And I will tell you, I have had more conversations with adults recently, and this is the past month, that have confessed to me that they did not vote. They have not voted. And I'm like, really? You haven't voted? I mean, I'm not judging them for it or anything, but I just been very surprised at how, wow, that's pretty crazy. You know, you're so outspoken. I've seen your posts on social media. You seem like you're very politically in tune, you know, but yet you don't vote. And then a lot of them tell me that their vote doesn't matter. Well, I don't know. I, for one, say, hey, if anything, if you have the right to vote, go vote. It's your right. Go do it. Go do it. We're not the judge. You know, you're not the judge. I'm not the judge. You know, there's a higher power out there who is the judge. And in the end, that's one thing we all will face, you know. That's guaranteed. We're all going to die. We all have an end date. And I hope we are all going down the right path. But that being said, it seems like there's just a lack of accountability. You know, to me, my personal opinion is there is a severe lack of accountability on all fronts right now. There's a lack of personal accountability, and there's a lack of team and individual accountability, you know, just overall. And because of that, I encourage you guys to let that be your focal point when it comes to this election year. You know, let that be your focal point, just enduring every day in your life. I cannot tell you the importance of accountability. I mean, it is what will keep you going. It'll keep you focused, and it will help you decipher what is correct and what is not. You know, it'll help you, it'll steer you on that path, you know. And that is the one thing that is lacking right now. And I just see, sometimes I look around and I watch the news and I'm just like, dude, this is just a circus, dude. Like, it's a circus, you know. I'm very thankful that, like, in my organization and in my commanders and I'm thankful that they don't operate that way. Like, we as a nation should be thankful. You know, somewhere along the line, there's a disconnect because you feel like everything should just trickle down the same. You know, that's what I'm always taught. That's what I was always been taught. You know, it trickles down. You know, the leadership style, the accountability, the standards, you know, the standard operating procedures and so forth, all the way down. But somewhere along the line, I feel like there is just a disconnect because it goes from, sometimes I feel like it's just a straight shaking the 8-ball and a circus to, boom, discipline and accountability, you know, shared understanding, combined and effective communication, you know, everything needed to be a leader. But now I don't see that. You know, I don't see that and it's tough, man. It's tough. But the reason why I can come up here and say this is because I am a firm believer in that accountability. And therefore, if your superiors are going to keep you accountable, well, then by golly, you have to also keep them accountable. You know, we're all humans. You know, me as a first sergeant, I always tell my soldiers, hey, if you see me do something wrong, let me know. Because I'm human. I'll mess up, you know. If I do something wrong, come stop me. If my uniform looks messed up, come tell me. You have that. Keep me accountable. Because I have to keep you accountable. And it goes both ways, you know. So, yeah. That is my rant for today on this whole Biden situation, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, and of course the candidate and former President Donald Trump. You know, when it comes to my opinion, I just wanted to come over here and share this with you guys because people have been hitting me up. I've been having these conversations, and plus I have some time off while I recover from this surgery. So, but in the meantime, team, I thank you guys for joining. I appreciate your presence. As you know, I always say as a leader, there is power in presence and there are multiple forms of presence. So thank you so much for that. And if you guys like this, if you'd like to share your thoughts, I am curious to know your thoughts. Who are you planning to vote for if you like to share? or is it too early to tell? But what are your thoughts on the whole transition right now? The whole swapping and change of pace that people are doing, you know, what are your thoughts? You know, what are your thoughts? By all means, that's what this is all about here at Comfort and Chaos. Hey, we don't always have to agree. Yeah, we're probably going to disagree. We don't always have to agree, but you know what? There's always a type of learning that you can gain from a conversation. You know, you're always there to learn and of course understand, and that's what we aim for here. You know, that's what I like to do in a fun way. I like to have fun. So there you go. I'm just a fun dude. I'm all over the place. All right. Hey, but thank you guys. As you know, do your push-ups, take your vitamins, drink your water, and most importantly, guys, continue pushing. See you again on the next one.